My fellow Nerdicans, welcome back to another episode of That's So Nerdy. Today we've got another exciting gameplay video for you. It's going to be Piccolo Jr. Evil Reborn versus Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Prophet of Demise. I will be piloting Piccolo Jr. while Tommy will be piloting Gogeta. I'm actually really excited to bring this Piccolo Jr. to the channel again. I made some changes from the last time that I did feature it, and I'm actually really happy with the changes that I made to it. It is just like a really generic green leader. People will say the green is bad, and I mean, they've got some points, but I think there's some green decks that people really aren't thinking about just because of how old they are. Like, I think this leader is really good, and I also think that this leader deserves a reboot. I actually made a video about what I think the rebooted leader should be. You can go check that out on the channel after you're done watching this. I will be putting a deck profile out on the winning deck in this video, so stay tuned to see if you would be interested in the deck profile that will be premiering tomorrow. And while you're at it, go ahead and do all that, the YouTube-y stuff with the like and subscribe, all that stuff. That way you can be notified when I make videos or when I drop videos, and you can see interesting gameplay. Honestly, most of the matches you see on the channel, excuse me, yawn snuck up out of nowhere. Most of the matches you'll see on this channel will be more like casually built decks, not going for super competitive builds, just kind of trying to keep it fun, trying to keep it fun and even between the decks, but while still keeping the deck good and doing strong things when you turn the cardboard sideways. Alright, so we're going into Tommy's turn 2. And this is his second time piloting Gogeta. I have made changes to it since the last time he piloted it. And the last time he piloted this deck, it was kind of rough because he was going against Gogeta Xeno. So, I mean, Gogeta Xeno do what Gogeta Xeno do. And there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. So since Tommy's at 4 life, he's going to go ahead and awaken on this swing to give his leader the double strike. Fortunately, since his unawakened side was the one who initiated the attack, he doesn't get the 5k boost that the auto would give him. But since the leader just inherently has double strike, he gets double strike. So that's really nice for him. But I do take the damage since I do want to get to 4 life so I can awaken. Because this being an older leader, much older leader, it doesn't have an alternate awaken, which is another reason why I run the Denigre unison, not only to get my charismatics live as early as possible, but no matter what my opponent decides to swing into, I have the option to take the life points thanks to Denigre's permanent ability. So now I'm swinging into his lead so I can get the draw here. I don't believe I combo up. I'm pretty sure I just wanted the draw. And I swing with my Unison. He decides to super combo because unfortunately he's not really seeing very many of the fusion targets, and he's also not seeing like a lot of the evolve chain that is kind of a secondary win con in this deck. And that's actually one of the cards right there that he just charged into his energy. That's one of the secondary cards. So now he plays out his Unison, and I will go ahead and do a little bit of a disclaimer. Since he's not really used to playing with this Piccolo Unison, he misses the auto like every time. And I've been trying to coach him on like remembering to rock his autos and like doing making sure he reads his cards and everything. But he wants me. Oh, geez, I cannot stop yawning. I'm sorry, guys. He wants me to let him make the mistakes so he feels how bad they feel, and so he doesn't make them again, which makes sense to me. So I shocking death ball his leader swing, so I don't have to take the double strike damage. Then he swings at my lead with his Unison, and I decide to Realm of the Gods to combo up and make him pitch a card. I really like this card for this deck, honestly, and I think I am going to start running it in a few more of my green decks because it is really good. Just having the option to have an additional 15k combo and it rips a card from your opponent's hand is just really, really strong. Yeah, you see I charged a Chile, and honestly, that's not something that's going to be staying in this deck. And you'll see that when I... I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, I think I'm going to take the Chile out. Just because I never really saw a time where it felt good to play her out to the board. While this deck is very, very, very good at board destruction, it just didn't feel very good because she also doesn't have protection, and 2 energy is kind of a lot when you see the engine that's kind of running in this deck. And then here we notice that he forgot to charge. And I let him know, and then since we're not doing anything like official or anything, I let him go ahead and just charge his energy, because it's like I'd rather him be able to learn how to play the deck with all of his resources available to him. Whew. So he swings with his leader, and I homie clone, which takes me down to 4 life finally. And honestly, being unawakened this late in the game is kind of nice for this deck, because it is an untapped 2 instead of a hybrid, which I really do enjoy. And now I use the Spirit Boost ability to counterattack using to play out my King Gogeta Unison, and I block with the blocker token. And that was one of the misplays I was talking about. He didn't KO my blocker token when I when I countered with homie clones, and you'll see a couple other times where some he doesn't KO some battle cards when I counterattack. And I mean, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference if he would have actually KO'd these cards, because they end up getting dealt with anyway. Yeah, and I think this King Vegeta Unison is really, really, really good. I think it's really slept on right now, but I think people are going to wake up and probably start using it more often in their green decks, because it is just like, it's inherent spot removal because it ignores barrier and you just get to KO a battle card, or if they don't have a battle card on board, you can just make them rip a card from hand instead. Which is what I did with the +1. I made him rip a card from hand, and then I played out the super combo to make him rip another card. And he was asking me if he could counterplay with Yamcha, and I said if he did counterplay with Yamcha, it wouldn't do anything because there is no counterplay window 2 since I was hard casting him. So now I went ahead and swung into and then super comboed. That way he doesn't get to like pop it or make it for power or anything. That way I get full utilization out of it. So yeah, I decided to awaken even though I don't have a second energy to untap, but that's not a super big deal. Then I go ahead and swing at his lead with my leader, draw a card. And he decides to super combo out because I did not combo up. Yeah, this deck does keep a decent hand size, but it doesn't draw like an insane amount. So I have to be really careful about like when I combo, what resources I'm using from my hand. Yeah, here he's talking about how he's upset that he hasn't been really drawing fusion pieces and stuff, and tell him that he's got fusion pieces in his energy, and he's also got like parts of the evolve chain in his energy. Because that is one thing that Tommy really struggles with, is he really struggles with like reading cards and paying attention to like what they do. So here is asking how to use Rejuvenate, and I explain it to him because he's never used a Unison that has the Rejuvenate ability. So he decides to go ahead and add the marker to draw a card, which looks like it was another super combo, which is good for him because that means he's been seeing a bunch of his super combos. But I go ahead and Poopo here, and there's another misplay because he doesn't KO it with his Unison. He goes ahead and passes because he doesn't really have anything that he wants to pitch unless he's doing it for fusion reasons. So we're now sitting pretty comfortably at 6 energy, 4 life. Doing a pretty decent job of making sure he feels the pressure and doesn't want to really try and play cards out to the board. I did have my Unison rip a card from his hand. Boom, and then he super combos out because I chose not to combo up. So 20 with my leader swing, and he super combos again. Sitting here like, okay, well, working really hard to push into his life, and I just can't seem to get into those last 3 life of his right now. And I end up passing turn with 6 energy open. And I do believe that I have the 5-drop Boo in my hand right now, but I'm not wanting to use it because I want to continue using it, or continue using my King Gogeta Unison to rip cards from his hand. And as we know, that was another misplay right there because he did not opt to KO the Bupo. If I'm not mistaken, I think he decides to go in real heavy here. So he's bringing back Skillless Goku, Skillless Vegeta from his drop area with Breath of a Super Warrior. Then he goes ahead and passes his turn, because he didn't want to pitch any cards. I believe I decide to skip charging here, because I don't really want to charge anything that's in my hand. Make him rip one from hand again. Then swing with my leader at his leader. So he imposing presences me. I decide to super combo to bring it back up to 15. And he takes that life. And I believe that actually... Oh, yeah, okay. I believe that actually does end my turn. Oh no, I do play out a Chilai, okay. And that's what I'm talking about, like, it's already turn 6 until I feel comfortable enough to play her out. That just doesn't feel very good, especially for something that doesn't have any form of protection. It doesn't have deflect, doesn't have barrier, and it only has like a decent ability that helps out this deck. So I mean, yeah, I think Chile might be on the chopping block. So he opts to charge his Wolfang Fist, plays another Birth of a Super Warrior, and he taps one, play out a Goku, and I counterplay that with Charismatic Villain. And because I KO'd the Goku, he also pitches one from hand. And he plays out a Vegeta, swaps the Vegeta out for Technique Unchained Vegeta, and then taps out to EX Evolve into SSB Vegeta at full power. This card is, in my opinion, so good. And honestly, I'm thinking about building a deck entirely around him and the Goku cards as the boss cards. But I'm just not sure which deck that would be yet. I could try and build one behind maybe Starter Vegeta? I might have to try that out. Yeah, I might just have to try that out. I'm gonna use another Champa Destroys defensively to rip a card from his hand. And he's swinging in heavy rip to try and deal damage to me because he thinks he's gonna go in. Even though I Bupo'd, he's just pitching cards like crazy because he was pretty convinced that he wasn't going to get another turn. And here I'm just making sure that if I pop him off the field, I'm not going to end up killing myself. So I plus mark to rip the last card out of his hand, which is a counterattack. And then, yeah, he goes ahead and calls it because I was gonna win anyway. So it looks like Piccolo's gonna be the deck profile you guys get. If you like this video, do all that YouTubey stuff, like, comment, subscribe, push the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I post a new video. Trying to be more consistent about it, but you know, sometimes work gets in the way. So y'all just have a good night and stay nerdy.